Welcome back to Science Meets Adventure, the channel where we don't just travel to see the world, we travel to understand it. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever stepped onto a beach and thought, why is the sand here so white it looks like sugar, but over there it's black like charcoal, and somewhere else it's literally pink like cotton candy? Because here's the truth, sand isn't just beige, sand is a rainbow, and every color is a clue. A piece of geological and biological history written grain by grain over thousands, even millions of years. So today, we're chasing one big question. Why do some beaches look like volcanic ash, while others look like powdered pearls? And how on earth does nature create sand that's white, black, pink, and even green and red? Strap in, because after this video, you'll never look at a beach the same way again. Let's start with the classic dream beach, white sand. You know the type, bright, soft, almost glowing in the sun, making the ocean look even more turquoise. But here's what most travelers don't realize. Many of the whitest beaches on Earth aren't made from normal rock sand at all. A lot of that white sand is made from calcium carbonate, the same material found in coral skeletons, shells, and other reef organisms. Picture a coral reef like a busy underwater city. It's alive, it's growing, and it's constantly being shaped by waves, currents, storms, and hungry animals. Over time, pieces of coral and shells break off, then get crushed smaller and smaller, turning into sand so fine it can look like flour. That's why places surrounded by healthy reefs often have those unreal white beaches. And now for a fact that's equal parts hilarious and unforgettable. Parrotfish help make white sand by pooping it out. Yes, parrotfish are basically nature's sand factories. They bite coral to scrape off the algae they eat. Their mouths grind that coral like a built-in rock crusher. Then their digestive system processes it, and what comes out is fine white sand. One large parrotfish can produce a surprising amount of sand over time, helping keep some beaches replenished. So that powdery sand between your toes? In many places, it's the end of a wild reef recycling loop. If you want to see white sand born from reef ecosystems, think of iconic destinations like the Maldives, where the white beaches meet neon blue lagoons, or Hyams Beach in Australia, famous for sand so white it almost looks unreal. But here's the important travel reminder. These beaches depend on living reefs. Damaging coral doesn't just harm sea life, it can also harm the long-term health of the beach itself. So admire it, snorkel responsibly, and leave it as pristine as you found it. Now let's flip the mood completely and step into something dramatic: black sand beaches. If white sand is tropical paradise, black sand is pure cinematic power. Moody skies, crashing waves, towering cliffs, and a shoreline that looks like it came straight out of a fantasy movie. Black sand usually forms in places shaped by volcanoes. When lava erupts and cools, it often hardens into dark rock like basalt. Then the ocean gets to work. Waves smash those basalt rocks, grind them down, and sort the fragments into sand. So when you walk across a black sand beach, you're not stepping on coral or shells. You're stepping on the powdered remains of lava, Earth's inner fire turned into shoreline. And black sand doesn't just look different, it feels different. Because it's dark, it absorbs heat fast. On a sunny day, black sand can get seriously hot enough to make you do that awkward little beach shuffle, stepping quickly until your feet find a cooler patch. It's a whole experience. The contrast is also stunning. Black sand, white sea foam, and deep blue water all in one frame. For top black sand adventures, Reynisfjara in Iceland is legendary, with basalt columns and roaring Atlantic waves. And Punalu Beach in Hawaii is another iconic spot, where you might even see sea turtles resting near the shoreline. Just remember, many black sand beaches come with strong currents and powerful surf. They're gorgeous, but they demand respect. Now for the rarest and most magical color on today's list, pink sand. Pink beaches can look almost unreal, like the shoreline has been dusted with rose-colored powder. But pink sand isn't usually one solid color. It's typically a blend. White sand mixed with tiny red or pink particles, and those particles often come from microscopic organisms called foraminifera, or forams for short. These are tiny, single-celled ocean creatures, and some species have reddish or pink shells. When they die, their shells break down into fine fragments. Those fragments mix with white coral sand, and over time, waves spread the mixture along the coast, creating that soft blush color. It's basically nature doing color theory in real life. White plus pink equals a beach that looks like a dream. Pink sand is rare because it needs a perfect combination of conditions: healthy reef environments, the right organisms, and the right currents to collect and display those colored grains. That's why seeing a pink sand beach feels special, almost like finding a natural treasure. If you want famous pink sand destinations, Pink Sands Beach in the Bahamas is one of the most iconic in the world. And for a more adventurous twist, Komodo Island in Indonesia is famous for its pink sand beaches set against rugged landscapes that feel truly wild. And because these beaches are so rare, they're also fragile. The biggest rule: don't take sand home. One handful doesn't seem like much until thousands of visitors do it. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick world tour of bonus colors, because the Earth has more than 3 sand shades in its toolbox. Green sand can form from a mineral called olivine, which is often associated with volcanic areas. In a few places, waves concentrate olivine grains so heavily that the shoreline takes on a greenish tint. And red sand often comes from iron-rich rocks. When iron minerals break down and oxidize, basically rusting naturally, they can stain sand and cliffs in deep red tones, especially stunning at sunset. So, what's the big takeaway? Every grain of sand tells a story. White sand often speaks of reefs, shells, and calcium carbonate, sometimes powered by parrotfish doing their weird but wonderful job. Black sand tells the story of volcanoes, basalt, and the ocean's grinding force. Pink sand reveals a delicate partnership between coral and microscopic life. And green and red sands prove nature's palette is far bigger than most travelers imagine. The next time you visit a beach, don't just look at the water, look down. That sand beneath your feet might be the memory of a volcano, the skeleton of an ancient reef, or the remnants of microscopic ocean life. It's Earth's history, broken into billions of tiny pieces. And one last explorer mission: respect these places when you travel. Don't damage reefs. Don't take sand. Don't leave trash. Leave the beach better than you found it, so the next adventurer can feel the same awe you did. If you enjoyed this journey into the science behind the scenery, like the video, share it with your travel buddies, and subscribe to Science Meets Adventure for more adventures into the wild.